President-elect Donald Trump has picked Republican Representative Mike Waltz to be his national security advisor. A leading critic of China, Waltz, a Trump loyalist who also served in the National Guard as a colonel, has criticized Chinese activity in the Asia-Pacific and has voiced the need for the United States to be ready for a potential conflict in the region. That has been his stance. Waltz will be responsible for briefing Trump on key national security issues and coordinating with different agencies. Waltz is also on the Republicans' China task force and has argued that the US military is not as prepared as it needs to be if there is conflict in the Indo-Pacific region. Sources say US President-elect Donald Trump has selected US Senator Marco Rubio to be his Secretary of State, putting the Florida-born politician on track to be the first Latino to serve as America's top diplomat once the Republican president-elect takes office in January. Rubio has in past years advocated for a muscular foreign policy with respect to America's geopolitical foes, including China, Iran, and Cuba. Over the last several years, he has softened some of his stances to align more closely with Trump's views. US President-elect Donald Trump says he will appoint Republican former Congressman Lee Zeldin, who frequently voted against legislation on green issues, to run the Environmental Protection Agency. Trump said that Lee Zeldin will ensure fair and swift regulatory decisions that will be enacted in a way to unleash the power of American businesses, while at the same time maintaining the highest environmental standards, including the cleanest air and water on the planet. Trump said he plans to begin rescinding Environmental Protection Agency and Transportation Department vehicle pollution rules on his first day in office and is considering paring back or eliminating EV tax breaks and other incentives. The death toll from the Israeli attacks on Lebanon since the beginning of the latest round of Israel-Hezbollah war on 8th October 2023 has crossed 3,200, with injuries rising to over 14,100, according to the Lebanese Health Ministry. In the latest Israeli airstrike, killed at least 28 people and many others were injured in the village of Ain Yaqub, located in northern Lebanon. Akars is situated in the northernmost tip of Lebanon, about 180 kilometers from the border with Israel. The Israeli army has said that 4 of its soldiers have been killed in the northern Gaza Strip. It said in a statement that all 4 fell during combat in the northern Gaza Strip on Monday, bringing the total number of Israeli soldiers killed in the Palestinian territory since the start of ground operations to 376. Former Senate candidate Alex Didier was sworn in as Haiti's new prime minister just hours after a flight from the United States was hit by gunfire as it made its final approach to the capital Port-au-Prince. The Transitional Presidential Council has named Didier as the replacement for interim Prime Minister Gary Connell, who was tapped for the role in May. The latest shake-up comes as the country faces a security crisis with armed gangs taking control most of the capital Port-au-Prince. North Korea has ratified a landmark defense treaty with Russia, which obligates both states to provide military aid to each other in case of an attack and to cooperate internationally to oppose Western sanctions. The report came amid international criticism over increasing military cooperation between the two countries, with North Korea reportedly sending tens of thousands of troops to Russia to support its war against Ukraine. North Korean leader Kim Jong-un signed the decree to ratify the pact on Monday. It takes effect when both sides exchange the ratification instruments. New Zealand has offered a rare national apology to victims and families of hundreds of thousands of young people and vulnerable adults who were subjected to institutional physical and sexual abuse over the last 70 years. The apology followed a report by a public inquiry in July that found that some 200,000 children and vulnerable adults in state and faith-based care experienced forms of abuse from 1950 all the way till 2019. Costa Rica has bestowed its highest diplomatic honor on visiting El Salvador President Nayib Bukele for his success in lowering levels of violence during a more than 2-year campaign against powerful street gangs. President Rodrigo Chavez lauded Bukele's efforts as his own country continued to struggle with historically high homicide numbers. Bukele has achieved his success in part by suspending a number of constitutional rights that push aside due process and give security forces and prosecutors far greater power to pursue suspects. Bukele addressed criticism of his methods as he has before. He said that the right to life must be protected by addressing violence before other rights can be guaranteed. Former British soldier Daniel Cunliffe, who is facing spying charges, has admitted to escaping from a London prison by clinging to the underside of a delivery truck. Prosecutors allege Cunliffe passed classified information to an Iranian intelligence agent. However, Cunliffe maintains that he has never spied and did not do anything that harmed the country's national security and violated Britain's Official Secrets Act. Colombia's President Gustavo Petro has declared a state of national disaster due to floods triggered by heavy rains. The declaration aims to facilitate the mobilization of necessary resources to assist those affected throughout the country. A logistical operation will begin to distribute the first emergency kits in the department of Chocó starting from today. According to preliminary figures from the National Disaster Risk Management Unit, more than 30,000 affected families have been affected by rains in the region. Amazon has confirmed that a third-party vendor's security breach exposed some employee information. According to spokesperson Adam Montgomery, Amazon's own systems were not affected, but the breach at a property management vendor compromised certain employee contact details such as work emails, phone numbers, and office locations. However, Amazon has clarified that sensitive data like social security numbers or financial details were not involved, as the vendor didn't have access to this information. Amazon has not disclosed the number of affected employees. The vendor has reportedly fixed the vulnerability. India's Financial Crime Agency is ramping up its investigation into alleged foreign investment law violations by Amazon and Flipkart. Days after raiding several sellers associated with the two e-commerce giants, the Indian agency plans to summon company executives for questioning. This increased scrutiny follows an antitrust investigation that claimed Amazon and Flipkart have broken laws by giving preferential treatment to specific sellers. India's regulations restrict foreign-owned e-commerce firms from holding inventory directly. The Vatican has launched AI-enabled services for St. Peter's Basilica, allowing people to virtually access the Renaissance-era architectural marvel. The Vatican has also launched a new interactive website, a digital replica of the Basilica, and two AI-enabled exhibitions. The 3D model of St. Peter's Basilica was made using an AI algorithm that compiled together the scan collected by drones, cameras and lasers. These drones flew at night for 4 weeks, taking over 400,000 photographs of the site. A recent study has found that high-speed internet use may be contributing to rising obesity rates in Australia. The research points to sedentary activities like online gaming and binge watching as key drivers of obesity in the country. As per experts, access to high-speed internet reduces the likelihood of meeting the World Health Organization's recommended physical activity levels. The study has also highlighted how screen time, often paired with snacking, further encourages sedentary habits. Additionally, the student found that easy online access to goods and services has reduced the need for physical errands, leading to a more inactive lifestyle. The US dollar traded close to a 4-month peak versus major peers in early trade today, while Bitcoin extended its record rally as investors continued to pile into trades seen as benefiting from the incoming Donald Trump administration. The euro languished near an almost 7-month low, while the yuan wallowed close to a more than 3-month low. Oil prices were little changed in early trading today, awaiting further prices. This is after China's stimulus plan and oversupply concerns took the wind out of markets in prior sessions. Both contracts had fallen by more than 5% over the previous two trading sessions. China on Friday unveiled a 10 trillion yuan debt package to ease local government financing strains, but analysts said it fell short of the amount of stimulus that would be needed to boost growth. Gold prices continue to decline after logging its worst weekly fall in over 5 months. This comes on bets that Trump's policies will be inflationary, pushing the Fed to backtrack on its rate cuts. Gold has fallen 3.7% from its peak of nearly $2,779 per ounce on October 30th. Gold, a traditional hedge against economic and political uncertainty, tends to thrive in a low interest rate environment. A rise in the dollar denotes higher rate expectations in the US. China's largest e-commerce company, Alibaba Group, said it recorded robust growth in sales and recorded robust growth in sales and a record number of shoppers over the year's Singles Day sales period. Expectations for sales growth for the festival, which is viewed as a gauge of consumer confidence, was subdued this week as confidence in the world's second largest economy remains low in the wake of a prolonged property crunch. Consumer sector seeing unexpected growth was collectible toys and hobbies, a category that includes anime, comic and gaming related goods popular with young people in China. Japanese technology investor SoftBank Group is expected to report a $1.87 billion quarterly profit boosted by successful portfolio company listings and a stronger yen. Analysts are also looking out for signs of new investment momentum driven by SoftBank's robust balance sheet and management's bullish stance on artificial intelligence. Analysts are eagerly awaiting SoftBank's investment plans after founder and chief executive officer Masayoshi Son told an investment summit in Saudi Arabia last month that he was saving tens of billions of dollars for the next big move. There is a fresh controversy in the English Premier League. Referee David Coote had been suspended after a video surfaced online which shows him making derogatory comments about former Liverpool manager Jurgen Klopp. The video remains unverified but was widely circulated. It appears to show Coote abusing Klopp and Liverpool. According to the clip, Coote claimed that Klopp was arrogant and had accused him of lying after a match between Liverpool and Burnley during July 2020. The Premier League referees body has suspended Coote. Ruben Amorim's era has officially begun at Manchester United. The 39-year-old arrived at the club's Carrington training complex on Monday. His appointment comes after a period of relative stability under interim boss Ruud van Nistelrooy, who successfully steadied the ship following Erik ten Hag's sacking. The Portuguese, though, decided to go forward without Van Nistelrooy as part of his staff. Dutchman's exit was confirmed hours after Amorim's arrival.